up, everybody? I'm Sal Klein. This is Reggie Steele. And welcome to Spitballin. Spitballin.
What's up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani with the Super Cute Metro. This is Reggie Steele.
And welcome to Spitballin, y'all.
Yeah, what's up? I figured
Metro, look at Metro, dude. That's a cat that has definitely bonded with you. A cat that allows you to hold it upside down.
He like sleeps behind my butt every night. And it's cool if I like, oh, you want to go? All right, go. Be free. But then if I got to switch, because I'm a side sleeper, and then I switch to the other side, he'll jump down and then jump right back up to behind my butt, but the other side.
No way, really.
No, he's the best, dude. He's the best. And then he's so excited when you come home, whenever I come home from the road or even just like from a show. Yeah, man, he's a pretty loving guy.
He's like, yeah. He's like, Sal's back.
He gets like anxious, like he's got his little rats, and he's like, if I leave, he's like, because sometimes I'll take the other two and walk around in the hall and there's no one around, and they like to explore a little. And this one, he stays in and then come back in, and he's all like, oh man, where the hell'd you been? Like, bro, they're like 5 minutes, dude. We're gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and he has no interest to go out and leave the room, leave the house. He don't care.
So, really? Metro does not, he's a cat that doesn't want to explore?
No, dude, he's cool in the home. That's it. And like I open the door, the other two will go out and he'll run into his rats. Oh man, the door is cracked. It was crazy as a motherfucker.
No, that's funny. But, I didn't grow up with cats, so I don't know much about cats in that regard. I just know that they're curious. They like to do stuff.
They can handle shit on their own. Yeah. Today, Reg, I had a quick and early day. Reggie was still late, folks. So listen to what I got done. I went to the DMV. Got to the DMV. And I figured Good Friday, it takes some of the, Mexican Catholic population not to show up today. But nah, it didn't matter, dude. There was a line. I got there 10 minutes before it opened. There was a line.
Yeah.
I said Reggie the thing, it turned. But then when I left, there was still a line. It was a little longer, but overall, that was all about an hour. So it wasn't bad.
That's not bad. It always looks worse.
That real ID. You got your real ID?
No, I have a passport. I'm not getting that.
What do you mean?
I'm not gonna get the real ID. You can use the real ID or you can use the passport.
Reggie always fighting the man. Yeah, but if you're right. Is that a problem if you're I guess it's just a regular license you still will have. So you still have a state ID.
Yeah. But hey man, I think that whole thing is bogus. He implemented that whole thing last time, and I was like, yo, that's whack, bro. It's just another way to
big ass fat passport every time to the airport.
Hey man, I don't want to get a real ID. I got a driver's license. That's my ID, and I got a passport. Man, what gets more real than a passport?
Right? I don't want to carry that around with me.
Yeah, but I have a driver's license. So I use that. A real ID is only for travel.
That's my point. Traveling, you got to carry that.
But damn that. Look at the name of it. Look at the name of it. Like straight up, subliminally, real ID, as if everything else is fake or false or fugazi or unreal or pseudo.
You're always fighting the system, man.
Yeah, nah, man, because this is how they get you.
Like they already got you. They already know everything. What's the difference?
No, that's how they get you. They get you by getting you to conform to these little things. It's just, look, it's the analogy, bro. It's the analogy of the frog in the hot water. If you throw a frog in hot water, he will jump out. But if you put a frog in warm water and you just turn the temperature up just a little bit at a time, he'll keep adapting until he boils to death.
I mean, look.
That's what they're doing to us, society. That's what they're doing to society. They just keep turning it up just a little bit.
That's a real ID.
Your rent goes up just a little bit
Well,
They take away a few of your rights just a little bit. They make you get a driver's license is good enough. Now you got to get a real
I
ID
mean, to me,
just a
it's just
little bit.
worth not having to take my passport to the airport if I'm flying within the country. So
Okay, so what Sal is saying
it's worth the
is that
headache.
no, what Sal is saying is what most people say is it's about the convenience.
There you go.
Convenience is how they get you, bro. I'm telling
But
you.
bro,
Convenience.
what
Hold
does
on,
it
hold on. Let me say this.
mean?
Convenience is what's killing the brick and mortar establishments because of Amazon. Amazon was convenient. It was like, oh, I don't have to leave my home. Someone can bring it to me,
That's
right? It's
not.
killing restaurants. I don't need to go out to eat. I can have Uber Eats deliver it for me. Convenience is what kills everything, like straight up.
Well, how is it a danger to the real ID? What does that even mean?
Because it's about voting and it's about immigrants and it's about low income people. It's really trying to make it difficult for people to vote, right? To travel and to vote. That's what it's about. All that stuff, they make it sound like it's on the surface, like, okay, you got to have a real ID, as if driver's license and a passport didn't work before, like they weren't
Yeah, it
effective.
should be enough.
That should be enough. But then they want to introduce the real ID, and that's strictly about immigration and about borders, about travel, and about restricting people's right to vote, right? Because some people don't have a car, so they don't have a driver's license. So before you used to could just get a regular ID. I still have my old California ID. I can show it to you, right? You just had a regular ID that people would get, but now it's like, no, you got to have a real ID, something different than that. Dude, it's just about
I don't know.
trying
I
to
just feel like
regulate
they're
people's
just trying
rights.
to be a little tougher on
Dude,
getting people falsifying information when they travel.
dude, no one's falsifying information. Like that's been a problem. Who introduced the whole thing?
I don't know. I
Think
didn't even look it up. Look it up. It's been
who
around
introduced?
for a while though. I think it came out during Biden.
No, it came out during fucking Trump's first administration.
Oh, it
He
did?
was the one that introduced that whole thing when he had the Muslim ban, right? Like people forget this shit, but that dude,
Let me
anything
look
he
it up.
does, he's not doing it for the betterment of society. He's doing it to gain traction or ground in whatever his ideas and beliefs are. That's why I'm
Oh,
like,
whoa,
fuck the
this
real
was
ID.
what? This was introduced in January 2005.
Okay, well then maybe he was the first one to really try to push it.
The requirement
Either
for
way it goes, I never heard that shit
verification.
before that.
It was in response to 9/11. States, oh,
Muslim
it was supposed to
ID.
take effect in '08, but enforcement was repeatedly delayed due to widespread opposition in many state governments. Eventually, states began to comply in 2012, and the enforcement based on the issue state or territory began from 2014 to 2018. After numerous extensions by 2020, all states were certified as compliant, and by 2024, all territories were certified as of 2025. Enforcement based was scheduled. Wow, dude. So it's this is from 2005. This is 20 years ago this passed, and they didn't finally get it to work until now.
Yeah. Damn that.
But it was definitely because of in response to the terrorism and shit. Look, the whole reason I got check ID, not having to take my shoes off, that's really nice.
Oh,
Or
nice.
pre-check, I mean.
Yeah. Oh, pre-check is the way to go.
I
Pre-check is the way to go. If you don't have pre-check, I don't know what you're doing. Right? Like not
No,
having to take my
waiting.
belt off, my shoes.
I look at those people like peasants taking their fucking shoes off like a bunch of like
See,
what are you
this is what's
doing?
wrong with Sal, you guys. This is it's like classism,
Like,
it's
you
privilege,
disgust me.
it's superiority. Like the fact
I'm
that you
just
would look
saying
at
how
someone
it
and
makes me feel. I don't know. Um,
peasants.
yeah, I'm like, get these fucking and they never know what they're doing. What do I show you? What do you need? That just makes the line even slower. Oh, I hate when I go to pre-check and there's like more than 10 people or something. Or I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? More than 5 people here. That makes me mad. But
Dude,
and
uh, I'm telling people in the other line, I'm like, yo, you got to get the pre-check. It's really easy. Get the pre-check. It's cheap. It's easy. You ain't got to worry about that dumb shit. You ain't got to stand in that
you
long ass
know,
line.
Reggie, this sounds weird though. It's like you're for pre-check but against real ID. It's kind of like similar.
No, it's not.
I mean, because think pre-check was another thing in response to 9/11 because they just want to make sure you had all your stuff. You had to go get your thing. It's the same idea. This just took
No,
forever to be an
I don't
enacted.
think so. I think pre-check is a side effect of after 9/11. 9/11, the lines got super long because everyone had to take off every single thing,
Uh,
especially once the dude tried to blow up a plane
One
in
guy with the shoe
Minnesota
thing.
with
I'm
a shoe.
so over the shoe thing.
Exactly. One
This
dude with
shit
a
was
shoe.
such bullshit, and it didn't even work. It wasn't even a chance of working. This is
Exactly.
ridiculous.
But okay, so one dude with a shoe changes everything. So then all of a sudden the lines got super long and it became a pain to like get through security. Remember, security used to walk up, they do a thing, and you were through in no time.
Yeah, you could
Right
say goodbye to your family right at the gate,
at the
but that's
gate,
fine.
everybody could go
Separate
through.
it, whatever. But the shoe thing, that has got to go. That
That's
is
got to go.
ridiculous. I
Yeah, that's
mean,
got to go. That's
granted,
got
I
to
don't
go.
deal with that. I'm in pre-check. I ain't rolling with the peasants, but I'll fight for the smaller, the common man, and demand that they don't have to take the shoes off him. It's ridiculous.
Okay, I
And then
agree.
when I flew from fucking when I went from Paris and then I went to Canada and then the US and Canada, I had to take my shoes off again. Pre-check didn't matter. I'm like, this is chaos, people.
Yeah,
Chaos.
yeah, it's
I didn't
chaos.
switch my shoe shit in the
Well,
fucking duty free in the airports.
okay, so back to what I'm saying is that pre-check came as a side effect of that. It was like, yo, how do we screen these people beforehand to know that they're legitimate, right? Boom, pre-check. That's not what the real idea is. Real idea is about regulation, I believe. It's
Well, I
about
mean, you
regulation.
also it's a flying thing. You can only fly with those now. But anyway, all
I
right,
mean, maybe I
so
will. Maybe I go. I don't want to get it. Maybe I will. I'll go check it
it's
out.
funny though. It's funny how they passed something and it took 20 years to take effect.
It's bullshit, bro.
All
Bullshit. I
right, so
don't
I
know
was
what it
out
is.
in Redondo Beach, dude. And I had my camera and I was taking some pictures. So you see this new backdrop, huh? I took that at Redondo. Here, I'll pull up the picture though, because it's weird how they reverse it and on here. But I think this would be kind of cool to like open this to print this up big time. And then you see the birds, bro. It's like a fucking
Oh, yeah. At first, I thought there was something on your screen. I
no,
literally
yeah,
want to keep
see?
wiping my screen off. I thought something was.
That's
Yes.
like remember in Gladiator when you see the birds flying past the Coliseum to show how big it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just having to catch all these little birds. But the clouds, it looks like a damn painting, bro.
It does with the purples and the lavender, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a cool photo. I think you should zoom it in tighter though. Like, I don't necessarily like the birds. The birds aren't distinctive enough to really see.
Well, that's interesting you say that. I kind of like the birds because they're um so small. But okay, here I'll show you then. I did think of this, and this made me make it really feel like it was art. Um Here, I'll show you this one. You'll probably enjoy it. But then you see, it looks just more
Yeah.
like a painting.
Yeah, I like that better personally. I mean, you
Okay.
still see the birds at the bottom though, but
All
okay.
right, now here. Okay, so hold on. Here's one more, even more zoomed in. Same image, and let me see what you think. No, this is good. I could test out to see what people like. Now, this is kind of cool because I really get in there.
Yes, that's it.
That's the one you like, huh?
That's the
And it's
one.
funny you
Yeah, that's
say it
it.
because that's how I originally did it. Well, yeah, that's kind of cool. That almost looks artistic. That looks like the sky when God is touching Adam in that famous painting.
Oh, in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Michelangelo's
finger.
Sistine Chapel.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
funny because
That's
that's
it
the
for
first
me.
one. Yeah, no, that was the first one I cut together, and then I saw the birds in the other one. I'm like, well, the birds are kind of cool. Like if the birds was like huge, like almost the size of the wall, of the whole picture, then
Yeah,
you
I
can
mean,
slightly see the birds more. Yeah,
if you could actually see the birds in a real way, then
right.
then yes. But in this
Uh,
regard, you can't really see them.
all right. Speaking
Um,
of birds, here's another one I got of a, and you could tell it's what's interesting about sunset is how quickly the sun goes down. You got like 10 minutes, and then this is all then. So then you can see how much darker it is. This is one of the last pictures I took. but I like the sky, how it looks.
Man, okay, so what's interesting about this one? I like the way the sky looks, but what's interesting about this one is that you have two things in the sky. You have something that flies, that's a bird, and then you have a plane,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I wish you could see the plane a little bit better because it would really show
I mean,
like, yeah, I mean, to
so you
capture
zoom
two
in. The
things,
problem is with the zoom, you miss the cool color on the corner.
yeah.
But
But I mean,
yeah,
I think there's something there about, things that fly, right?
yeah, no,
And
totally. Like it's and the man-made and then nature.
yeah, exactly.
And those both look pretty good with the backdrop. But what is cool about this too is the background is like a painting itself. Like this whole bottom, it looks like a painting.
That's true. You could shop out the bird and the plane and just
Yeah,
have,
it just I don't know though. I kind of like them too though because of the little message, and I like how clear they come off.
yeah, like you can clearly see that one's a plane and one's a bird.
And you can see the beak on the
On
pelican.
the pelican fly, pelican fly. You know what's funny about fly, pelican fly? Anybody who's listening who knows what that's from. That's from the movie Scarface, where Tony Montana is sitting in the hot tub and he's watching the TV and some birds take flight and he goes, fly, pelican fly. But if you notice, those aren't pelicans, they're flamingos. It's a bunch of flamingos taking flight, but he says, fly, pelican fly. So that's it.
Why? Why?
It's just a mistake. It was a mistake. It
Well,
was,
I wonder partly too, though, because I read something, there's something else he mispronounces or whatever, and they want to show that how he's not a refined guy, that he is from like the streets, and then he's trying to be involved in this refined drug world.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, he's got the mansion. He's got all the stuff that you would think
It's
some that
good.
rich people have. But yeah, like see if you can find that clip. I bet you can find that clip um on YouTube.
Well, hold on. Let me see. I come prepared, Reg. I I got my pictures here still. Here's another one.
It's all the same picture. Oh wow, that one's kind of cool though.
Yeah, same shit, man. You settle down over there. But yeah, this one, look at the sky, how it looks like it's shot out, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like it's kind of got that thing going.
Yeah, it
Um,
looks like it's like reaching out and just all
it's like
right.
bam.
And then
That's funny.
last one, I'll give you one more. I know it ain't no Tony Montana, but here's the one with the little sailboat and the palm trees and
Okay.
the ocean. It was kind of cool. There was a slight waterway across from this brewery I did.
Okay.
And I looked and you saw like right in front of where all the boats are and a sea lion, big female. It looked like a female. Could have been a male, but it was I think a male would be even bigger, but it was big under the water, just slightly. You just see it's just skimming, so you don't even see it's under.
Yeah.
Made it look
Yeah.
even bigger. It felt like fucking Jaws, dude. It was creepy.
uh, a great white shark and a sea lion, complete opposite. One eats the other one completely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
it
no, but I
looked
know what you mean. Just skimming
yeah,
underneath
just
the
see
surface
just
of the water.
because I was so close to it too. You never realize how big the animal is, and to be that close to it, where I just saw it right there, and you're right there. Just
Oh
looking
yeah.
down on the
Oh,
water, like
dude.
it was cool.
I work at Pier 39, so
Oh yeah, so you see that shit all the
I
time,
see the sea lions all the time, and those joints, the males, the bulls, the big ones when
big.
they come in, yeah, they are legit.
They stink too, and they're kind of mean.
Especially well, I don't know if they're mean, but when it gets hot, they smell pretty bad.
I went to a kayaking trip once, and it was in Monterey Bay, and there were seals. They were sweet. There were otters, which are really cute. You watch them like do this, but then there were the sea lions, and they're like, "Stay back from the sea lions," and you smell them from a
Mm.
distance, and yeah, they'll fuck with you.
Okay, so there's a difference between the sea lion and the seals.
Of course, you know how
Okay,
you know the difference, how you can tell the difference.
the ears.
I don't do the ears. I don't hit to that.
Oh, you do the fins or something? I
Yeah,
mean, 'cause
lion has four legs, so sea lion has the back flippers with the four, and the seal
yeah,
has the tail.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say one has ears,
The
and the
sea
other one,
lion must have the ears.
I think they have the ears, and the other ones, seals don't have the ears.
Yeah, sea lions are gnar, dude.
You know,
But
it's funny. Like
yeah.
so years ago. So at Pier 39, it's sea lions,
Yeah.
right? There's signage everywhere. Go see the sea lions. The sea lions over here. And every once in a while, you have somebody come up and be like, "Hey, where can I find the seals?" Right? And it drives me just a little bit nuts. And I never just tell them, "Oh, they're not seals, they're sea lions." So what I do is when they come up to me and they go, "Hey, where can I find the seals?" I go, the sea lions are right over there, right?
Yeah, no, hey, you got to correct their ignorant asses, dude.
Right. So,
You
well, hold
should
up though.
educate them all and explain to them why.
Right. Well, hold up. Yeah, because they're different, right? But I heard this one day. I was sitting there and I was sitting there and I heard this one guy come up to invite another guy to go look at the animals. And he said, and I quote, "Hey, let's go look. Hey, let's go see the walruses."
Walruses.
Dude, he called them walruses. I was like, yo. When I heard that joint, "Hey, let's go see the walruses," and he hit the sisters. He hit the sisters so hard.
That's funny, dude. That's
I was like, man, this dude
funny.
was focused. I heard that shit. When I heard that, I was like, I gotta let that go. I can't even. I'm not
This
even
shit
gonna
ain't
correct that.
Greenland. What's he talking about?
Exactly. Hey, let's go see the for the third time. Hey,
The
let's go
walrus.
see the walruses. The
I like it's
wal-
funny too, like such a hard word to say plural. You could have just said the seal.
the sea lions. Let's go see the walruses. Man, I heard that. I was like, I was like, you win. I was like, dude, you have won the day.
All
I'm done. That's the best thing I've heard all day.
right, Reg, I found this old video of us, dude. Here you go.
Have you and I?
Yeah, here it is.
Oh boy.
Somewhere in the left hemisphere of your brain.
What is this?
Hey,
I was gonna say the A team.
this man who'll come up for good. Play naive.
Bones, man, come up for good.
Naive. Why don't you recognize? Why won't you accept and understand that the gentle, poetic, and tender
I
spacefarer
love
side of
these
yourself
two.
wants you to reject these feelings of revenge? Only thing I'm gonna reject is you, fool. If you don't drop this crazy space rap, I'm gonna drop you for good.
Hey man, I think Mr. T might be one of the only people in the history of television who never had to act, right? Like who made a living just being himself. Because
Yeah, totally.
that dude right there in that scene is the same dude. If you see him in an interview and they go, "Hey, Mr. T, how you doing today?" "Oh no, I'm doing pretty good. Why are you asking me all these questions?" And then they go, "And action."
He
"Hey
would
fool,
do
hey
he would
fool."
do Howard Stern all the time, and he was great on Howard Stern, and
Dude,
he was always like Mr. T always meant well for the kids. He's always like for the kids, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, he was always
raising
about the
money for the
kids.
kids. I used
Yeah.
to love him as a kid, dude. Mr. T, oh, I had a Mr. T action figure from the A Team, and he
Yeah.
came with a set of tools, which is funny. And so, it's always like a little hole you can put a gun in there. No,
Yeah.
Mr. T's, you put a screwdriver in there.
That's funny. I did not. I mean, I used to watch the A Team a little bit, but I didn't really care for the show. Like
Oh,
it.
dude, I couldn't wait every week. I think it was like every Tuesday at 8 o'clock.
That's funny. I watched. I didn't. I was like. I watched it every once in a while, and I saw him, but I was never like a Mr. T fan. Like I didn't. If
Did
the
you
sh-
think he
if
was a clown or did you appreciate him or you were just like, oh, that's fine?
he was just a character in a show. Like I didn't think much of him, right? Like I
Yeah.
mean, he had all his gold chains, and then he got his mohawk and his hair, and he
Yeah,
always
Doug's
talking like
Mohawk
this.
was the coolest shit ever. I don't know
Yeah,
why. I loved
he
his
was always
Mohawk.
like, see, this is the difference. This is the difference. I think for me as a young black kid growing up in Alabama around a bunch of black people,
Yes.
I had a lot of black idols to choose from, right? In my
Oh,
real
okay.
life. You know what I mean? In my real life. So people on TV were just people on TV. Like that, there was nobody I ever idolized or, put on a pedestal at all in that way. I just kind of was like,
Right,
okay,
right.
you know.
Wow, look at this, dude. The A-Team originally aired on Tuesday nights. Wow.
Wow, that's pretty good. And you remember that.
And I
Tuesday
can
night.
specifically remember, and I know 8 o'clock because there was one episode, it was like the second season or something, it was already established. And it was like a two-parter, and they were out
Yeah.
in like some cowboy land or some shit. in the West, and it went from 8 to 10. And my mom, they wouldn't let me stay up past 9. That was my bedtime, so I didn't get to watch it. And then I remember this girl who was in my class was talking about it, and I'm like, they let her stay up, and I didn't even get to stay up.
And that's why the show was canceled.
Yeah, dude, fucking let kids stay up late. So here's another one. This shit's so, dude. It was so last night. I just came home after the show, and then there's a channel. They're just playing like they'll play Knight Rider sometimes. And they'll
Oh,
play,
Knight Rider. I
like,
enjoyed Knight Rider.
I mean, I don't know. But Knight Rider was fine too. But
Yeah. I mean, I
okay.
remember those shows, watching them, but I don't remember them. I mean, you know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah, so it's almost like yeah, they're not really good, but the
yeah.
campiness is so great. And the A team's kind of fun because it's the same formula. People getting pushed around, the A team gets the call, they show up, and then shit
Oh,
spikes and
that's
it
right. They
escalates.
resolve domestic issues.
Oh yeah, dude,
Right?
because you can't go
Yeah.
to the police. Oh, the opening's one of the sickest openings ever. I'll find that.
Okay.
But listen to this. This is funny. And then these people acting. It's so ridiculous.
Come on in, fellas.
You really showed up. That's the A-team.
I didn't think you guys were real. Now, you told Mr. Lee that you thought the Scorpion.
The Scorpions. So this episode specifically is hilarious because not
Wait.
only did
Hold on,
the
hold on.
ours
No, no,
did,
no. Wait. Before we go back to that, can we just go back to the scene where we just see Mr. T? Right? Just pause it. Let's just have let's do a little
oh,
analysis
of his look.
all right.
I loved him and Murdoch always going at it. Hey, Hannibal. Hey, Hannibal.
No, just the beginning of this scene where they're standing there. Where they go to Hannibal, and you see
this scene.
You get the wide angle of the lady and the
Oh.
guy, and then Mr.
Okay,
T
my
and
bad. Hold on. Because get out of here. Because another funny thing is his outfit.
That's what we got to talk about, bro.
Come here, T. Where you at? There you are.
Okay. All right, stop.
Zoom in.
Right there. Pause it. Okay. All right. So first off, we got on the onesie. We got on the military green onesie jumpsuit, right? And then on top of that, you got the weight belt.
Yeah, I know. He's got a weight belt, which
You
is
got the
so
weight belt
funny.
for stability, right? To support your lower back, right? And then let's talk about these gold chains, right? Like the amount of gold chains this dude got on. Like I got on mine. I don't know if mine makes the cut, right? Like this dude
Those are
is
supposedly
next.
heavy, man. He would really rock. I think on the show, it was a piece after a while, but yeah, but in real life, he'd always rock those, and it'd be heavy as hell.
Okay, so he got on all the chains, and he got rings on every finger.
Oh, he
Uh,
does. That's right. I
yeah.
missed the feathers. Where's the feathers? Sometimes he rocks feathers in the ear.
On the earrings. And let's look at this. See, this is the thing about this is what you got to check out. The thing you got to realize about these chains is that they are all various lengths. He is from his shoulders, right? From his trapezius up to his jawline, bro. Like there are chains. So that
Yeah, you
means
can't
that
see his neck.
you can't see his neck. So some of the chains are long that come down, and then he's got really short ones that cover just enough. Like they're not hanging all the way down. You get what
You
I'm
know
saying?
why he does it? Did you ever hear why?
Because he got injuries on his neck,
No.
scars on his neck.
And he found like he knows his ancestors from Africa, and they're like he knows of them, and he's like they were kings, we were kings, and they had lots of gold. So this is my way of like showing a nod to them, that us as black people were like leaders and warriors and stuff. So it was
Okay.
kind of a nod to like
Yeah.
the old
Well, I
country.
mean, okay, so last thing is, and this is what they always do to us. So you got Murdoch. Is that Murdoch? No, that's not Murdoch. Who's
That's
this guy here?
Hannibal.
That's Hannibal. So you got Hannibal standing there, right? Kind of straight-laced white guy with the black gloves on.
Yeah,
Like
George Papar, man.
right? Like he came to do work. He got the
He
black
always
gloves
has
on.
his gloves on. It's so
Yeah.
corny.
No, it's because he can't leave his fingerprints. He
And a
can't leave any
cigar. He always
evidence.
has a
Right?
cigar, but he'll leave his cigar butts all over the place.
Okay, so you got Hannibal with his little coat on and little multi-layered shirt and his black gloves, and then you got this older white couple over to the side, and the guy's sitting down, the lady's tending to him, and she's normal in her little whatever dress she got on. The guy got on his little colors, and then we got the one black dude in the scene who got a mohawk, 8,000 chains on, a weight belt, a onesie, and rings on every finger, and he talked like this. Hey, all right, we coming over there. Fool, be ready when I get there. Right? Like,
I always loved, like, look at this mohawk too. The
why
mohawk.
we gotta be the character, Sal? That's what I'm saying. Why we gotta be the character? How come it can't be a white
Well, this
dude?
was 83, this is, he's
Oh,
tried something different. I love how
yeah.
it went down and it came back around. It was such a dope
Yeah. I
mohawk.
mean, no, it's legit though. Don't get it
But
twisted.
here's another thing though. You can say all that, true. However, I believe like you said though, Mr. T was already this character and he just brought it to TV. Because
Yeah, someone
he was
just
just a bouncer in Hollywood and this was already kind of his thing.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. He never had to act really, right? Like he might have
Right.
to remember some lines, but he was who he is. And then they were like, "Yo, you just you,
And I
perfect
think
the way you
it
are."
was Rocky he was in first. That's
He was a
where
Rocky first. Okay.
yeah. The van, I loved the van. I had a little car van. But so this is funny too. Little dune buggies are the criminals.
Oh, I love the Doom buggies. Oh, they got Uzis.
Oh, no, thanks. We got some. That's real cute. Get out.
Now, this is what's funny too. I didn't finish it. I was like tired. I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Okay.
But the whole thing was these people are running. People would come and they would rob people. They'd do something at the casino and then they leave the casino. Whoever did well at the casino, and then casino workers would tell these dune buggy guys, hey, we got to
Oh,
score.
he's a high roller. He
Right,
got
yeah,
robbed
rob
him
him
off.
on this route. She'll send him to a route. No, I forget. Actually, the next one I was watching is when I went to bed, and that one they were stopping guys from running moonshine. But it's funny, they're like, "You're not gonna run this sick, gross shit in here anymore." But they got like AK-47s and they're running around. I'm like, these guys are running shine, and you're fucking shooting at them with machine guns.
That's funny. I think it's funny. Like I think if you rob people, if I rob people and I pull over a van and I walk up with my helmet on and I got the gun right to the guy's face and he looks at me like this with his cigar, right? He's like this. He's like, oh, I don't know, whatever. I'd be like, yo, it's a setup. We gotta get out of here. We walked up with Uzis, and this dude didn't flinch. In fact, he put his arm over the windowsill and his chin on his arm and smiled. It's like, yo, let's get out of here, man. It's a setup. This dude, because everybody else would be scared to death if you walk up to the car with an Uzi, except
Yeah, I
for
should
the
have
A
let it
team.
play out too because then what happened was they opened the slide door and Face Man,
Yeah.
Face and Murdoch come out with their machine guns, like just shooting up. And they're like, "All right, now freeze!" And I remember though, my brother and I, like, this was another thing that's kind of my whole family, like, we enjoyed it. My dad, my brother, and I, like, this was our show on Tuesdays. And
Okay.
I, as a kid, was really into it. My brother would always shit on him, be like, so ridiculous. They got these machine guns and they're always shooting and nobody ever gets hit.
Okay, so see, this is all right. So what you just tapped into is what I think is what happens with a lot of young people, with sports teams, with TV shows, with restaurants, with music. It's always tied to something else besides the thing itself. Your
Right. We'll have a
dad,
little more impact. Like, for instance, Knight Rider's cool, but this show has more of an impact on me. The
because you watched it with
right.
your dad and with your
Family. Yeah.
brother, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with sports and teams, right?
Right.
Like any person that I know who's really into a team, when I asked them about like why are you such a big fan of that team, he's like, oh, dude, I used to watch the games every Sunday with my dad, or we
Yeah.
go
It's
to the
a
game. My dad,
culture. Like, a lot of these towns, it grows up. And that's the thing.
yeah, and
You
it's
know
like,
that.
but I think it's associated. They make a connection between the connection that they have with whatever parent, because maybe there's not a lot of love or affection or vocal.
Yeah, you only get whatever connections you can get.
Yeah, so those connections are the ones that are palpable.
Were there
I didn't
shows
have
you watch
that.
with your mom?
No, we didn't watch those. We didn't watch TV together. I
Really?
watched TV. Well, we watched. I think she kind of. No, we didn't really watch TV together. I would
Wow.
watch. I had a TV in my room,
That's a great
right?
way to bond with the parents.
Well, I mean, I was a kid. That's not my call to make. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You guys didn't
mom,
watch movies together ever?
no, I had a TV in my room. She had a TV in her room. I watched movies and TV shows by myself. I was the only kid. I
Wow,
did it all by
that's
myself.
no
So,
wonder you're such a loner. Like, oh, go
no,
get in
straight
the
up.
room. I'll just go, wow.
Yeah, straight up.
Um, I sometimes though it was anxiety induced in watching movies with my parents because like one, I remember because you remember the old rental, I love the old go in the Blockbuster. But hey buddy. So we went and got my brother got Major League and he brought Major League. And
Oh
the first
yeah.
one, they swear their ass off. So every time they'd say fuck, I'd be like, and my mom would, I swear to God. And my dad's like, oh, you get this kind of fucking movie, Tony. Like he didn't say get this kind of movie, Tony. Like, oh, God damn it. And so like,
That's funny.
I don't even think I get to finish it. Another one I didn't get to finish because it was too dirty was Critters. Remember the movie Critters? Like
Oh,
they were
critters,
swearing.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
my mom was like, what kind of garbage is that? Turn that off. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't get to
Good Lord.
they censored
I,
my movies sometimes. So
my
sometimes
mom,
I would rather just not, watch it.
my mom was in her room doing her own thing, and I was in my room, and I had HBO, so I was watching all kind of stuff.
Jesus, dude,
I
you
was watching
spoiled
movies.
kid. That's what it was.
I wasn't
Spoiled kid with
spoiled.
all the Legos.
I wasn't spoiled. I was loved.
You were the only kid. They didn't have to share it. All
Exactly.
right. Here's
So,
the
and
final thing.
but hold up, real quick. I would say that probably speaks to why I'm not a fan of any team, right? Even though,
Baby,
you
yeah,
know,
true.
yeah, because
But
I didn't
I
have
mean,
anybody.
unless your family went and saw Alabama play every week.
Nah, remember I told you that story about getting turned against Alabama. My high school coach turned me against Alabama. But I didn't, I never had an affinity for Alabama. Like I never had a love for Alabama.
Did
So
you watch football growing up or no?
not really. I mean, people
You
would
watch
watch it.
basketball?
Nope, not until later. Not until I started playing.
When did you
I
start?
watched.
Junior high?
I started playing basketball in sixth grade, and
And then who
I
did you
watched a
like
little.
growing up? Oh, you told me you like Larry Johnson.
I mean, I liked LJ and UNLV. But that's when I was in high school.
That was
That's
older,
91.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking like when I was
Did
a
you like
kid.
anyone as a kid?
Not really. I mean, I like the Bulls later on, but early when I started playing basketball, this is funny. When I started playing basketball, the Lakers and the Celtics were still a big thing, right?
Oh,
Because
it's
this
wow.
is
Okay, yeah, you're a little
86.
older. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there 86, but all the kids in my class, they had been playing basketball since they were kids, so they were watching basketball all the time. So they knew about Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish and Dennis Johnson and James Worthy and Byron Scott. Like they knew all the Pat Riley, right? Um, they knew about all these guys, and I remember them talking about them, but I was like, I didn't know much about them. Like I didn't know who they were, right?
Interesting.
Like, yeah, I was only playing basketball because my classmates asked me to play.
That's
I only
funny.
got good at basketball because they relished because I was tall and I was big and they used to beat me. And so I only got good because I wanted them to stop beating me in
Yeah,
one on
yeah, yeah.
one.
That's how it's
Right?
same thing. You lose a lot in the beginning, but then once you first start beating people, you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Well, hold up though. I got to give props to my boy. Shout out to my man, Billy Shepard, my boy Billy, because Billy was the one that pulled me to the side and was like, "Yo, Reg," and Billy's my best friend growing up. Billy goes, "Yo, Reg, why you keep trying to play their game?"
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Yeah. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, why you up here trying to shoot jump shots? He's like, you're bigger than everybody, you're stronger than everybody, you jump higher than everybody. Why?
Just
And I
push them
go,
around.
dude, when I say the light bulb went off, bing, he was like, just take it to the basket. They can't stop you.
Shaq
And
like
I,
had the same thing with his dad. Like
yeah,
Shaq tried to do some kind of shot, and his dad's like, "What are you doing? You don't do that. You go do you."
go do you. And so
Yeah,
that's once I started doing that, then it was like that changed everything.
yeah.
That was like, oh, I got these assets. I gotta use what I got, right? And then Shaq, Shaq did the same thing. Shaq is 7 feet and athletic and strong, and Shaq was a little mean,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, I wasn't
I,
mean, dude.
I
That's
remember
crazy. You
though
got this
growing up,
cat.
like Jordan is it was hard not to love Jordan because
Yeah,
I was after the bird. I didn't get into it after Bird and Magic, but it was Jordan time, and everyone playing in the driveways. Everybody's wanting to be Jordan. You call
right,
him Jordan. You know what I mean? Come on. He played like no one else at that time. He was
right.
sick, and I love LeBron, but they're gonna always have an argument when the guy was 6-0.
Yeah, but this is the thing,
That O is
and
big, dude.
no, the 6-0 is great. There's no doubt about that. But you got to think about, and I heard somebody talking about this. They're like, yeah, Mike's prime. In Mike's prime, he got it done, right? Those 6 years, those six
Right, and career
championships.
wise, right, LeBron's gonna hold that.
LeBron has been in his prime, was in his prime a lot longer, and it was a totally different situation.
Yeah, tougher
Pat,
teams LeBron faced.
no, I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to
I
say
am.
better coaching.
Yeah.
Michael had better. I mean, he had a Hall of Fame coach in Phil Jackson. LeBron has yet to have a Hall of Fame coach. He's taken. Look, we can get into this
Spolster
argument.
maybe.
Eric Spoelstra, yeah, eventually. But yeah, because Spoelstra's now got 2 championships or 3, right? Because of the one with Miami before LeBron got there, and he was
Yeah.
on that team. Um, but see, this is the thing. One of my buddies put it like this, and he was coaching LeBron at the time in Cleveland. And I had to ask him. I'm like, so which one? We grew up watching Mike, and you see this dude every
Right.
night, right? Like you're coaching LeBron, you're in the locker room, you're on the sidelines. Like this is your dude. You've been in commercials with him, and I go, who's better? Like what's the thing? He goes, man, that's a hard one. Like to say who's better. He goes, they're different, right? One's a shooting guard, the other one's a small forward. One's 6'6", one was 6'6", played at 205 at his heaviest, right? The other one's 6'8", 6'9", playing at 250, 260.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different. They're built differently. He
Yeah.
goes, he goes, he goes, LeBron is probably the best all-around player that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The guy, the mind of the game, the passing ability, the shooting, the scoring, the leadership, right? Rebounding, shot blocking. Like he goes, I don't think I've ever seen anybody as good as this guy, right? And he goes, but Mike, he goes, Mike is arguably the most sensational player we've ever seen. And when he said that, I was like, oh, that makes sense because Mike was sensational,
And
right?
also,
Mike
Mike was
was
the only one in the NBA at that time doing that.
well
Like he
doing what he
changed.
did, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there
I mean,
was
there were other
Dr.
good
Irving
guys.
before Dr. J, but it was really, at that time, yeah. Okay, so we're off
Well,
topic, but
okay.
here's the
No, hold
final
on, hold on, hold on, hold
video.
on. This is the last part. This is the last part. Then it made me think. This is the last part. It made me think. Maybe that's what it is. It's not about the greatest of all time, right? Because that's hard to say. Because there's different eras and different genres and rules change and things like that. The
Yeah.
game changes. But the most sensational player of all time, Michael Jordan. The
Yeah, no,
best, the best
yeah,
all-around player of all time, LeBron James. The
yeah,
most dominant player of all time, Shaquille O'Neal. The
yeah.
best shooter of all time, Steph Curry. The best scorer of all time. I mean, damn, it's hard to say Kevin Durant when LeBron got the scoring title. I mean, when
Yeah,
LeBron's
Durant's
got
kind
the
of fallen off, I feel.
yeah. I mean, at one point I would have said he's probably him and Carmelo were probably the two where it's like they could score on you in any type of way. But LeBron's got the most points and he's got assists and he's got rebound. But whatever. It's just that the most dominant center, the most like
Yeah,
I
you
think
can
there's
do it
different
more by
categories
position.
versus
Yeah,
one
that
at the
makes
top.
sense.
Yeah. But okay, go ahead.
Um,
Off topic. Get back on topic.
another Rocky character. So this was great about these old movies. You see these actors. Now let me see if you could recognize the other actor in this.
Okay.
Well, you remember this guy, Tony Burton. He's in all the Rockies. He's like Apollo's trainer, and he's
Oh,
also
that's right.
he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
in The
That's when he's
Shining.
younger.
Remember, he's in The
Hold
Shining.
up. Yeah, but hold up though. He and I got the same shaped head.
Oh yeah, he's got the little
He's
point.
got the little point right there.
Now let's see if you recognize this guy.
I remember him too. He always plays like a villain, but he was in something else. What was he in? He was a
I know,
bad guy
dude.
in something.
It drove me crazy. I had to look it up, see if you could think of it. Oh, you need to still look at him?
No, no, no. He's a bad guy in something. Oh, it was airplane. Was it airplane? No, not airplane, but Naked Gun.
Was he?
It was some comedy.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Here, let me look it up. Well, this is what I knew him from. Um, and it took me a second. Oh, come on. What the fuck? You can't just like pull up a picture anymore. But oh, here, I'll just show the whole Google thing. Who cares? Because then you see all the pictures of him. But he's skinny from Unforgiven.
Unforgiven. Okay.
Uh,
That's a great movie, by the way.
what's his name? Anthony James. Now I'm gonna look him up. I get so into this shit.
But he's in something else. Like
Yeah,
he's in a comedy of some sort.
it was just funny to see him. Wow, look at this. Acting my face. Oh, he died in
Oh, he died in 2020. Wait, from what year? From 1946 or 42?
2042. In the heat of
Damn,
the night,
he wasn't even 60. He died at 58.
in the heat of the night, high plains drip. Naked
Wait,
Gun 2.5. The smell of fear.
that's
Reggie
it.
Steele
Naked
called
Gun. I
me.
knew it was one of the Naked Guns. Oh wait. So wait, 72. No, so he was oh no, he made it. He lived a long time. I'm tripping. My mouth was off.
Well, yeah, he's 77. Whoa, this is crazy though. He kind of stopped acting after Unforgiven. That was like one of his last parts.
Really? He was
Weird.
78, not 68, 78. That was one of his last parts, huh? Maybe he got sick.
Let me see, Reggie. You can just make shit up, dog.
He was 6'6" So he's a tall guy.
Oh, wow.
He was born in
Lanky,
South
rough,
Carolina.
pockmarked.
Oh, he didn't make it to his 79th birthday.
Oh, cancer got him in 2020.
Yeah, he got sick. Okay.
I'm kind of curious why he stopped working. Because you
Hmm.
figure after doing Unforgiven, that was probably, you know, like his biggest movie.
Yeah. I don't
Okay, he
know.
retired from acting in the early 90s with his last film, Unforgiven. It is notable that his first and major last film appearances were each in an Academy Award winning films for Best Picture. He
After
concentrated
it's
on painting in Massachusetts,
he
published
published
a
a book.
book of art and poetry in 94. His autobiography, Acting My Face, was published in 2014.
The Academy of winning film. So 92, huh? Wow.
Oh, he was in the heat of the night, which I've never saw.
Yeah. I mean, he did a lot of stuff from 63.
There he is, A-Team, Connor.
I
Wow,
mean, these
Naked Gun was the one right before.
oh, but Naked oh, see, wait, Naked Gun.
Yeah, 91, Unforgiven, 92.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I knew I saw him in a comedy. Hey man, look, he probably made some good money and he was like, all right, I'm gonna go live the life I want to live.
Yeah, man. I mean, can't blame the guy. I mean, he did it for a long time. He started in like, the 70s and 60s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the 60s. So, yeah, I get it. But yeah, that's funny, man. Wow. Unforgiven's been on a lot lately. So,
Dude,
it's
Unforgiven is so good. Gene Hackman,
oh,
Clint
Gene Hackman
Eastwood,
won an
Morgan
Academy
Freeman.
Award.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all good in
But
it. I love that
but you
movie.
know what though? It's kind of sad to hear how Gene Hackman's life ended. Right? Like
Well,
you can
he's in
live
his
this
90s.
say what?
He's in his 90s.
Yeah, I know, but he died in his house from Alzheimer's after his partner died from some rare thing.
Yeah,
And
I
he walked
mean,
around the house for like 7 days while
is
she's
that what
like dead.
happened?
Yeah, she's dead on the floor in the kitchen or something.
He
And
had
then
no
there's a
idea.
because he had Alzheimer's,
Jesus
dementia. And
Christ, that's
there's an
bad.
animal, and one of the animals is in the cage and died from starvation. Like it was crazy, man,
No,
in
that's
New Mexico. But that just
um,
goes to show that like there are all these different lives within the life, right? Like,
yeah, dude. If you don't have people checking on you and shit.
Well, it's just that you change. Like there's a guy that I work with, used to work with, who he's 55, and this dude, his last day is tomorrow or today. Today. Today's his last day of work, and he's retiring. He's selling his home, and he's moving to Portugal.
Good for him.
And I say to him, I go, dude, I think, and he's a guy, really great guy, but he had some demons early. He had to get over some addiction issues and whatever else, and he really changed his life around. And I'm really proud of this dude and really happy for him. But I said to him yesterday when I saw him, I go, man, I'm really excited for you and this next chapter in your life. Like I think it's going to be the best one because that's really what our life is like a book, and you got all these different chapters, and some of the chapters the story is pretty similar. Like we're just we're going through whatever the plot is at that particular time, and then you get to another chapter and you pass that point, and then your character develops and grows and changes, and you know yeah, man, I feel like I'm on the precipice of a new chapter,
You are?
personally. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is yeah this.
That's great, Reg.
That's great, Reg. The music comes on.
I accidentally shut it off. I tried to
Okay.
kill the music and I killed the recording.
Okay.
But let's do some good Unforgiven quotes because it was on the other day. I love when he goes, here, maybe I'll do the quote. Well, you'll know who it all is, but I remember when he goes, talking about the Queen again, Bob, on Independence Day.
I remember that line. Who was
Oh,
that?
English Bob. So you remember when English Bob comes? He's the first bounty hunter that shows up, and they fuck him up, and he goes, It's great because he was in Orca. He was in the guy's a famous actor, but he shows up and he's talking about because the president just got shot. They shot James Garfield maybe at that time, and
Okay.
he's like talking about how great a king or a queen is. He's like, you should have a king or a queen. When you see them, then you be in awe of them. And he's like, now a president. Why not shoot a president?
Why? Wait, say it again. Why not? What?
Yeah, why not shoot a president?
Oh, yeah, you can't say
You
that
don't
again.
remember English Bob, dude?
I haven't seen Unforgiven in a long time. I just know that it was a great movie, but I haven't seen
Oh,
it.
Reggie, you're killing me, son.
Now, if you're talking about Tombstone,
No, I'm talking about English Bob. Here, I'll show
okay,
you a
all right,
picture.
here we
Richard
go.
Harris plays him. Richard Harris was the what is that garbage? He was the original Dumbledore. You remember you didn't watch, of
Oh,
that?
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I remember. 'Cause I remember when Dumbledore died.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
but no, yeah, so he was in the first two movies and then yeah, he died. But here's another good one though. I love what's his name? When Morgan Freeman's like he's like the kid, they're like following, and then the kid starts shooting. He goes, "Can you shoot all over creation?"
wait, hold on. Say it again. Could you cut
He's like,
out?
"Kid, you're shooting all over creation." But the best and my favorite, and I'll find it, we'll pull it up, is when they come up to him after they kill them all, and they go, yeah, they got him down at Greenlee's. They put a sign on him. He's like, they put a sign on him
Oh, they got him in the
down
box.
at
Morgan
Greenlee's.
Freeman.
They put a sign on him down at Greenlee's. And I was
Yeah.
like, you're like, oh, shit's about to hit the fan,
Wait,
dude.
did it say traitor? Wait, what did it say? Did it say
Yeah,
traitor?
well, no, it said this is what happens uh to assassins.
Oh, assassins. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah. And that's when they killed Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, they killed Morgan
Put him
Freeman.
in the box and had him standing out front. Hey man,
Yeah.
hey,
Here you go.
hey, he was coming to, it was gonna be scorched earth after that. His
Yeah, this
friend,
is it. This is one of the best. This is it. This is the best parts.
What do you mean he's dead? He went south yesterday. He ain't dead.
They killed him. I thought you knew that.
Nobody killed Ned. He didn't kill anyone. He went south yesterday. Why would anybody kill Ned? Who killed him?
Little Bill. The bar T-boys caught him, and Little Bill, he beat him up. He was making him answer questions and beating him up, and then Ned just died. They got a sign on him, says he was a killer.
They got a sign on him.
In front of Greeley's.
A sign on him in front of Greeley's.
Oh,
These questions Little Bill was asking. What kind were they?
About where you and him was.
Then what?
all right, we can't watch all of
A
it.
cowboy come in saying he killed Quick Mike and shit. Little Bill hurt him so bad.
All right, now
he
you just
said
go
who
ahead and
he
pause it
was.
because I'm in. I'm all in.
I like when he
said
grabs
how
the
he was
whiskey.
really William Money out of Missouri, and Little Bill said,
Oh man, it's so fucking good,
Dude,
dude.
it's so good. It's so good. That's an exercise in scene study, right? Like you break down what's happening, who the characters are, how they're interacting with each other, what the story is, how the story is being driven,
Yeah.
right? The revealing, the history. Like it's my buddy and I talk about that's how you become that's one of the things as far as acting wise. I'm not gonna say become a good actor, but that's one of the things in the world of acting is scene study, right? Like what's driving the scene, how the people are interacting with each other, like the conversation, the fluidity of it.
Yeah.
Are you just waiting to respond or are you listening and responding? Because that's what makes it feel like a real conversation, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because if for and I can say this and I'm not embarrassed about it, but not acting a lot over the years at different times when I did get opportunities, I was able to fake it, but a lot of times I was just listening for whatever the cue was for me to say my next line
Mhm.
versus it being a very organic experience, listening
Right.
and responding, right?
Right.
Like, because when you're doing it on a regular basis, then you get into that flow and you've had
Right.
that
It's
tape.
tougher too, especially as bit parts we get, or
Well,
even commercials
yeah.
specifically.
Well, they call us day players,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like they've had the table reads for 6 weeks prior to filming. They've gone over the script. They know their beats. They know the story. They know their lines. It's a conversation. Us as day players with principal lines, we come in. We got these lines. We're being inserted into the thing, and in that short period of time, we have to make it feel like we've been a part of this world the whole time and make it
Right.
authentic, right?
Right. Right.
But you get into those. That's why whenever I watch when I used to see your scene and it was a scene of scene study, and I was like, man, because everyone else is calm coming in doing a thing because they've been doing it, whatever. And Sal is like, oh,
Blew my head around one time. They kept it in though, baby.
oh,
All right, wrap
oh.
us up, Reg.
Yo, guys, that's Sal Kalani. I'm Reggie Still. No.
Oh, that would have been
Okay,
nice.
I hope you guys
Close
enjoyed
like
today's
that.
episode. We're all over the place, right? Like today was really a truly an
Well,
episode of
we got some
Spitballing.
photos. We got some Unforgiven. We got
Yeah.
A Team.
We
That
got
was a
some
great A Team
basketball.
rabbit hole that led us to Skinny and Unforgiven, and then
Yeah. And since Unforgiven is gonna lead me to Tombstone, which I said,
that's a good
um,
one too.
that's a good one. Gotta say, rest in peace to Val Kilmer, to Doc Holliday from Tombstone.
Something I
Um,
heard recently about that at the
uh,
very end of the OK Corral when he's says I got you now, or whatever. He's about to shoot Doc Holliday, and Doc Holliday says, "Oh, you're a daisy if you do," and then he shoots him. Supposedly, he really did say that line because, like, right after the fight, there was a written description of what happened, and that quote was in it.
wait, say it again now.
He says at the very end, he looks like he's about to shoot Doc Holliday. He's like, "I'm going to kill you," and Doc Holliday
Oh,
says, "You're a daisy if you do."
wait, you're talking about in the showdown?
In the
No, no, because
showdown, OK Corral.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, not when they're out in the woods, because at that way he's
No,
like, I
the
got no
OK
beef with you,
Corral. Well,
Doc.
there's four of them, and it's like the last guy. One of the last guys is about to shoot him. He's like, "You're a daisy if you do," because he's out. It looks like he's out of guns, but he has another gun, and he just
Yeah.
shoots him right in the head and takes him out. But Yeah, so that's the actual line that Doc Holliday said, which is fucking crazy.
Oh, an actual line that the original the real
Real
person
Doc
said.
Holliday said at the OK Corral.
Oh, you're a
Yeah.
daisy if you do.
Yeah,
Oh
is that
man.
dope?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is dope.
Yeah, he's cool.
Val Kilmer,
Killed that.
he killed the role
I
of
brought
Doc
back like an
Holliday.
accent that not many people even knew of or was a part of America for a time.
Hey man, all I know is in the scene in the showdown in the woods with old boy,
Yeah.
and he goes, he says something to him, he goes, I'll be your Huckleberry,
Yeah. I'm
right?
your Huckleberry.
He said, I'm your Huckleberry.
Johnny Ringo.
Yeah. He goes, I'm the Huckleberry. And he goes, I got no beef with you, Doc.
Yeah.
He's like, well, we
Yeah.
here. And then, wow, he hits him. And he's like, oh, come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, yeah, he's trying to Johnny Ringo. He's like, it looks like someone just walked over your grave.
Oh my goodness. Val Kilmer killed it. So Val Kilmer passed away recently. Man, phenomenal work in as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. I loved him in Willow. I used to
Hey,
watch
it's
that
great
movie.
Willow too.
And
Mad Mardigan.
yep, and with the movie Genius, not it was something Genius where he's like a boy genius. I forget what it's called, but there was
I
another
saw him
movie
in
he
The
was.
Saint. I didn't
Oh,
mind
The
The Saint.
Saint. I love The
I
Saint.
thought The Saint was cool too.
The Saint
Is
was
that
great.
Elizabeth Shue? Is that who it
Elizabeth
is?
Shue,
Yeah, she's
yes.
so hot in that.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
was
The
cold
Saint was
fusion.
cool.
It's about cold
Yeah,
fusion,
confusion. Yeah.
making
All right,
water out
close
of the
us out,
air.
Reg. We could
Okay.
talk all
All
day.
right. So RIP to Val Kilmer. Great job. Great career. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode because we did a lot of spitballing today. We was all over the place.
We
We
did
talked about a
lots
little
of
bit of
football.
everything. Um, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and share. That's the best thing you can do for us. We appreciate it. If you got any comments, please feel free to leave those. We'd love to hear your opinions and ideas and thoughts. And with that being said, that's Sal Kalani. I'm Reggie Steele, and this is Spitballin'. Peace.